Hi guys, this is Sun Mushy, and normally I do pick a card readings, but this is actually going to be a general reading for the collective for the topic of self-esteem. So the reason I am doing this video is this was a suggested pick a card topic, and the reason I'm doing a general one instead of a pick a card one is because I feel like a topic about self-esteem that this might resonate with everybody, and that whatever the messages are, anybody who's feeling guided to listen, maybe these will all resonate with you. And if not, maybe it's like pick a cards 1, 2, and 3 will all kind of be blended into this one reading. So then parts of it will resonate, parts of it might not. But yeah, I won't read the name, but I'll just say what the suggestion was about. So first one was asking how I'm doing. I'm doing well. I'm taking it easy, so I'm slowing down, guys. By the way, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll make a different video about this. Never mind. But so the person said, one thing, if possible, if you can do a pick a card reading on self-esteem. What are the root cause and by what it can be improved? I have been doing a lot and talk about some stuff. Low self-esteem is very self-destructive at times. It's really not much possible to reprogram our subconscious. Hope to listen to your take on it. So before we get started, my belief is that we can reprogram our subconscious. I believe that it is possible, because we have been able to make growth from birth till now. It's like we've been able to release thoughts and beliefs and negative things and positive things. We can change in whatever which way. What I've noticed, like, it is actually quite doable to sort of reprogram your subconscious, I guess. In some ways, like, I guess you can't, because like it's always a healing process, but it's like the process, the progress, it's more like there's so much to our subconscious. So yeah, it's not really possible to completely perfect it, be the perfect human being or the perfect thing with the subconscious. I don't know, that makes sense. But definitely I've noticed like more positive self-talk, believing in it, believing that you can change, believing that you can release things that I guess it's more reprogram. No, yeah, I guess it is like that, because it's like if someone tells you to live your life a certain way, it gets into your subconscious, but you do have the power to change that with experiences, with like belief, with balancing your energy in all sorts of ways and stuff like that can help with that. But obviously it's not like that simple, and I know there's like a lot of like circumstances where people have like really dived into spirituality, right? They're like, I meditated and meditated and meditated, still nothing's working. Like, I'm meditating, I'm going on my path, but I'm not manifesting what I want, and stuff like that. And that probably means that there's, in the 4 elements, I guess, like fire, air, water, earth, which is kind of like your spirit, your thoughts, your head space, your heart space, and your 3D space. It's like you're putting a lot of eggs into the spiritual basket, which is good. It's good to have that, but it's kind of like, if that's what you put all of your energy into, the subconscious, it's like all 4 elements, so it's going to be difficult. Your subconscious moves your body like automatically, the subconscious delivers you your thoughts. The subconscious delivers you your feelings, because it draws out the I guess programmed things that draw out your feelings, your response and stuff. and then the subconscious also connects, is, the spirit, universe, all that stuff. So it's like, yes, if you're focused specifically on your subconscious in the spiritual way, you're really only focusing on like one fourth, like one of the different aspects. Sorry, there's like a rice grain. One of the different aspects of your subconscious, your thoughts, your feelings, what you do with your body, how your body feels. It's like, I find it no surprise that people who are in a lot of physical pain find it difficult to reprogram their subconscious. I have a lot of experience with that. And not just personally, but I guess like through you guys, through people I've met, friends and family and things like that. Sorry, I don't know if it looks like I was wrong. I have a lot of family experience with physical health, and I've seen how that can make it very difficult. And it's not just that. Where there's also emotional problems. There's also mental problems. It all kind of starts to look like this seems impossible, really not doable type of thing. But root cause. So what are the root cause of self-esteem? So basically I'm going to be like flipping cards on this right about now, but just a few more thoughts on how I feel about this stuff. Oh, and by the way, I'm so sorry, guys. I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you feel this video might offend you or upset you or trigger you in any sort of way, definitely, my apologies. That's not my intention at all. I know there are certain topics that are kind of sensitive. So one of my more recent ones was I did a topic on depression because someone else also requested that I did that one, and I had a feeling that that was a pretty heavy subject, and so I just want you guys to know that if I ever do a subject that sounds heavy, sounds that it might upset you in some way, that you could just easily not watch that one. So that's what I want to say about that. That all my videos, no matter the topic, I am always just trying to be positive, helpful, and uplifting. It's just based off of when people reach out suggesting certain readings and things like that. I will always give it a try and try my best to keep it open for everyone in a way that doesn't upset people, but naturally when you get into some more heavy subjects, people can be very sensitive to those subjects because they're heavy. So basically, I understand this is kind of a heavy subject about self-esteem, so my intention is not at all to tell you guys anything or say like, oh, it's easy, or why do you have low self-esteem? Like, I have self-esteem issues. We all, I believe, do, and it's all unique for everybody. So whatever you are feeling is completely 100% valid. So this reading is kind of directed at helping this specific person, and I believe if you guys are guided to listen to these messages and these vibe with you in a positive and uplifting way, that these must be resonating, and totally take the messages in that case. So the root cause, I feel like there's two sort of roots. There's one that's like this lifetime. You can see your own childhood experiences growing up until now, and how that has created these cycles that have gone on since you were first a young age, Then there's like the second root, which is like the more like past lives thing, where it's like, well, as a kid you didn't deserve that, you were just born. And then that's like where like the past lives and the we've existed for eternity root cause comes from, which is that humanity, and by humanity more like energy, has been suffering for forever, for a long time. There's been a lot of hurting that we've been trying to heal from as a collective. It's like, where is the root cause? It's like, look out into the world. Look at all the crime, and not necessarily that, like, stealing is bad and this is right and this is wrong, but I mean like all the suffering that happens in the world that feels like injustice, that doesn't sit right with your subconscious or your conscious, you know. I think that's also where a root comes from, that we're connected, that on a soul level, we've been experiencing things before just this lifetime. You can kind of pick up that your parents' karma becomes almost your karma, but you're not your parents, so obviously you deserve to let go of that. And then your parents, they can say the same thing. Well, our karma is our parents' karma, so obviously they deserve to let go of feeling guilt or shame or unworthy or whatever. So it's just this whole cycle. So where did this root cause come from? It just came from probably when we all used to be one thing and we thought that we didn't have what we needed, so we split up to see if we could find ourselves and find each other. And then we kept splitting, and then we created the universe, and then there's a gajillion particles and things, and everyone doesn't remember that we're all connected, and we are. So we're finding ourselves, and once we find ourselves, we realize we have what we need. When we realize we have what we need, we become one again. And when we become one again, then your subconscious is officially reprogrammed. So naturally, we're not at like world peace or balance or whatever. So that's probably why it's not very super doable to completely reprogram the subconscious. Or is it, you know? It's like, it depends on where you're at on your journey. It depends on where everyone's at on your journey. If even only one part of the universe can forgive itself and feel happy, like, I say it's worth it. And so there's like a bunch of us, we're all trying to heal, sorta. We're all on our own paths going towards this. And I think it can get difficult because a lot of us can get very focused in that we're living this one life. It can be very scary to think about death or what's next. Like, what if there is no next? But it's like, I think a bigger question might be like, well, how did we even get here if there was never going to be a next, you know? If death was never going to bring life, how are we here? How is it that we have so much coincidental stuff going on in our life, like 24/7, like from birth till now? Like, even through like the family side of it, like looking for like parents to the children to their children and so forth, and the whole cycle of karma, like, yes, that makes sense, but it's like, how does that karma work so well in the subconscious? And, you know, genetics and like the whole like biological, I guess, like thing where it can look real specific. That sure sounds similar to all of us being connected, you know? That sure sounds similar to one becoming two, becoming four, becoming eight, and splitting and growing and growing, and stuff like that. So there's all that kind of stuff that I think has to do with root causes of things. But self-esteem itself, like your own specific issue, typically you know where it comes from. You can pinpoint it to your experiences in this lifetime, not just a past lifetime, because past lifetime, it's, I guess, carried with your soul in a sense, unless if you released it by now. But, you know, since you're experiencing it, maybe you haven't, or a different aspect of yourself, which is the whole universe, has not fully learned the lesson. So another way of looking at this, it's, let's say you're a soul, right? And you learn your lessons and you heal everything, and then you die in that lifetime and you reincarnate. A lot of people believe that means, well, shouldn't that mean it's impossible for me to have these same bad experiences come back and program negative things? No, it's not impossible. Just how it's possible to experience bullying or some sort of negative experience at a young age, and get that into your subconscious, it's just as equally possible for, like, if your soul learned everything there is to learn, you died, you reincarnate into the next part of your karmic cycle and experience things because you have parents who have not learned their cycles, you know? So, and so it's like, it's a weird loop that's like that. So, if it was possible for you to learn things that created self-esteem issues, it's equally as possible to learn how to heal it, how to figure that out. And honestly, I feel like that has a lot to do with your support system, has a lot to do with you, and like the amount of self-work and everything, and like we're all putting in the same effort here, we're all on our journeys. So it can sound unfair or painful where it's like, how come that person can heal in 2 years and it takes me 30 years to heal, and something like that. But I find that that kind of perspective, you start focusing on what you lack, you start focusing on what others have and what you don't. So instead, maybe focusing on what you do have, focusing on that you do have what others have, you do truly within, and if you don't like feel that way, it's like, well, someone else has that. A win for Rainbow Harmony always says, a win for someone is a win for me. So the more you start to see others as yourself, the more you will start to realize you have the capability within you to feel differently about your own circumstance. This might not even be a reading. I might just talk about this. So, well, I'll go ahead and flip some cards and then I'll continue talking about it. So let's just see what Spirit kind of wants to guide it to. Root cause, I guess, death, transformation. Energy that carries through you even after transformation, even after death. That seems to be a root cause, I guess. What root cause? By what it can be improved. Also death, also transformation. When you get to the end of a cycle, you have a chance to cycle that energy out bit by bit. Wheel of Fortune, yeah, cycles, fate, or destiny, flow. You control your destiny. You choose where you go. You can choose what is a good thing and what is a bad thing. If you feel like there are certain things that are a bad thing, that will stay in your subconscious. If you can accept it, love it, then it heals. And this energy, this devil guy is actually like really sad and just wants friends. But it's like, it's the devil. He's like, guys, hey. And these guys are like, But it's like, we're all one here. It's like, these guys actually are this. And like, they're just so afraid because they're like disgusted or like reject this thing. But it's yourself. It's no difference. And like, this devil actually doesn't seem so bad. Like he's like doing a little peace wave and he's like kind of smiling, and then these guys run off, and then he just kind of like keeps smiling as tears go down his face. He's like, I get it. I'm hideous, I know. Like, he doesn't even like himself, or she, I don't know, this demon thing. It's like really sad. And that's what the devil is, you know? So a lot of people think of the devil card, they're like, ugh, the devil card, no. But it's you, and it's actually, it deserves and requires love, honestly. So you gotta love yourself. It's a really important part. So that can help. Yeah. Let's see what else Spirit says can be improved. And I'll open up about, I guess, some of my stuff. And I'll Google self-esteem just to, like, be 100% sure on, like, the example I use. The Four of Wands. Yeah, this stuff, and, like, the more you do this, the more things, the more celebration, the more victory, the more stuff comes together for you, the more you manifest. The more you manifest, the more you believe in magic, the more you believe in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself. King of Coins, yeah, it comes into the physical world. It's like you do the change and transformation, and then how you feel energetically changes, and then how your 3D world changes. Yeah, and it's just a whole process. The more you let go of things, the more you realize where they came from in the first place. So if you've got self-esteem issues, it's like it is a huge process of learning how to get through that, and it's just going to take time and learning, healing, effort, understanding. We are getting like a bunch of different elements here. Yeah, we got the cups. Got some water energy in here. We got some earth energy. Got some air, and we've got some fire. We've honestly got a nice balance of all the elements. So it's like it definitely seems like balancing out your energies, your chakras, and everything like that is really helpful. Obviously, that doesn't mean you just manifest it by like meditating on it only. You gotta take action in the physical world. You gotta make change in the physical world. Gotta make change with your thoughts, with your feelings, and those thoughts and feelings get triggered by your day-to-day experiences. So, make better changes physically that will create a ripple effect in the physical world. With that, then your experiences will help you with more positive thoughts and feelings, and physical decisions. That also helps internally, helps give you belief that maybe there's something about this spiritual stuff that I can get into. The more you do that, the more hope you have. The more you like to meditate or just feel like you're in peace. When you're at peace a lot, you feel confident. You feel like you know where to go even when you don't know what to do. It's like you don't need to know the answers. You don't need to know the future anymore because you've got yourself and you trust yourself. And you know that whatever is in your best interest will manifest for you, so long as you set the intention that, I want to manifest abundance, happiness, peace, love, excitement, things like that, and like truly believe in it. So that's kind of what's coming out with these cards. Yeah. And if you don't know where to start with all that, you start with your heart. Your heart. Put your hand over your heart. Breathe in and exhale. And maybe do a couple more of those. So go ahead and take a deep breath through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Maybe one more time. Maybe through the mouth. I don't know. And just let your breathing do whatever it's going to do. And just pay attention to your hand and your heart and feeling your heart beat. Is it beating heavy? Is it beating fast? Is it beating slow? Maybe you're listening to your heartbeat and you're a little bit scared. You're like, whoa, my heart shouldn't be beating that hard or that fast. Or whoa, it feels so faint. Pay attention to that feeling. Don't get too caught up on like, oh no, it's like that. Don't worry, you're fine. Get more caught up in, oh my gosh, it's doing that, it's in that condition, and it's keeping me going. And so like listen to your heart, literally listen to it, feel your heartbeat. What is it telling you? There's no way it's telling any of you, give up. It's probably telling you the opposite. It's probably telling you it's not stopping anytime soon. Your heart is going to keep going. And so if it's hurting, if it's going fast, if it's going really faint, it's like give your heart more time and compassion every day. If you can't think of what choices to change to heal your heart, like heart disease or whatever, like what foods and stuff, for now, something that might heal it is to at least pay attention to it. You're not going to heal your heart by ignoring it. So put your hand over your heart. Continue any sort of breathing you choose. And just kind of notice how it makes you feel knowing that your heart is beating for you, is making all of this stuff for you possible. Just like your brain, yes, but your heart is like pulsating life. So yeah, oftentimes when I do this, like I feel like crying. So I'm gonna search up what self-esteem means real quick. Definition. Confidence in one's own worth or abilities. So I have a lot of experience with confidence in one's worth. Many times, so this is me about my stuff. My self-esteem issues has to do with, do I have what it takes to be human? Do I have what it takes to have feelings? Do I have what it takes to be understood? Do I have what it takes to have friends? And, much how like we can feel it's impossible to reprogram the subconscious, from the childhood, I've always thought I don't deserve friends. I don't deserve friends. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Here I am, 20 years later or whatever, same issues, same self-esteem. I still have the same problems, but I sure seem to have made progress, huh? I sure seem to have a little more confidence that I've got some good people in my life, that I am quite worthy of being treated with kindness, for giving out kindness. I sure have a lot more confidence in that. Yeah, I still have the self-esteem problems, but how much reprogramming I have done on my own, reprogramming is just listening to yourself, truly yourself and nothing else. And the reason why it feels like it's impossible is because we consider so many other people. It's like you're tapping into everyone's subconscious. If you just tap into yours alone, the core of yours, just you, it washes away everything else. It washes away all the bullshit that people have told you. People have told me I'm retarded. People have told me I am this. People have told me I'm rude. People have told me I am evil. People have told me I am the demon. I am like just this devil child. People have told me that I don't have what it takes to be likable, that I don't have what it takes to have a voice, that I don't have what it takes to be projecting what I want to project. I used to talk about how I love singing, and someone told me, like, you don't have what it takes to project your voice. You don't have what it takes. Like, no one would hear you. Your voice is so quiet. And it's because they're so used to me being timid that they thought that's all my voice would ever be. And so there's that. There's a lot of people where I was told, you don't have what it takes to actually love people because you always have some ulterior motive. You're always manipulating one way or another. You are trying to get something out of the situation. Stuff like that. You don't have what it takes to be genuine. This is all just bullshit that people tell you. These are other people's subconscious, and it gets into your subconscious because we are all connected. So, I guess my advice, it's really, honestly, this is like a 30-minute video, but it's honestly pretty short. It's just like, believe in yourself, listen to yourself, no matter what, the reason you're hurting about it and stuff, it's painful because we're not where we want to be. I'm not where I technically want to be. I want to be perfect. I want to be totally healed, always feel good about myself and my worth and my abilities and this and that. But it takes time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of love, a lot of positivity. Not for yourself, not just for yourself, but for everything, everyone. I don't find it coincidental that it seems easy for me, but I also consider so many people, love so much unconditionally, try to not hold hatred for anything or anyone. And I've noticed a lot of people who have a lot of difficulties with trusting this process, have a lot of hurt in one way or another, and find outside things to pinpoint this is where the hurt comes from. It doesn't come from me, so how can I fix it? It's like, take some accountability that you are also responsible for this whole universe's existence. And so in that aspect, you kind of are responsible for whatever it is that you experienced. But of course, you didn't deserve those bad experiences. You don't deserve to think or feel that way about yourself. But neither did those people who might have said things to you and others and themselves. It's like, they didn't just do that to you. They did that to, like, the universe, because you are the universe. So they just made world peace more challenging. And we all do that. We've all done that because ripple effects. I'm not like this perfect angel. I used to really be into League of Legends when I was in high school. It was where I would go to feel like I had some sort of control. Where I got to be... It's funny because my birthday, the numbers do add up to the number 11. So my tarot birthday card is Justice and the number 2, the High Priestess. So I am very much about, like, right and wrong and balances and scales. But back when I was hurting much more, I would go play League of Legends or play video games where I would be very toxic to people because I would have this whole right and wrong system of, like, if you're going to be a toxic player, I'm going to wreck the game for you. Like, I'm fairly good at the game, so most of the time, like, it's pretty doable to just play my part in the game and do well. But if it was my own teammate and they annoyed me or I thought they were toxic, I would literally sabotage our own team and we would lose and people would hate that. And I'd just be like, maybe you shouldn't have said that one thing to that person. Maybe you should have made more sense when you were playing the game. Maybe you should be more competent, blah, blah, blah. Like, I had a lot of toxicity when I was playing the game, and I hurt a lot of people, and I said a lot of terrible things. And that's just one example. That's just League of Legends. Like, that's just one place where I hurt so many people by trying to help and heal myself. And that comes from a place of sadness and loneliness and self-esteem issues. And I think maybe a core root of self-esteem might be loneliness, might be fear of rejection, of abandonment, one way or another. So it's actually really interesting. I got that email this morning because I had just kind of worked through that with a really, really close, someone I just made friends with. And I have this whole thing about friendship. Anyways, yeah, but that's kind of some of my experience with, like, self-esteem. But if you guys want to know, like, what helped me a lot, truly, it was, sorry, I'm holding this crystal, but truly, it's this series called One Piece. It's honestly very spiritual and talks a lot about where deeply rooted issues can come. It shows a lot of experiences of people who experienced a lot of pretty bad things, to say the least, and show how they overcame it. Some people got through it, like, fully, like, overcame that, like, big traumatic issue. Sometimes they, like, get it figured out, like, fast. Sometimes, like, there's all characters of all sorts of ages. There's characters in the series where they're, like, 17 or 19 or 21 dealing with these issues. There's characters where they went through, like, pretty much a mass genocide, survived at the age of 7, went on for another, like, 20 years, and they still didn't get through it all. But it wasn't until certain events that were meant to happen in the series that they were able to overcome their trauma of not deserving to live. And that was one of the characters that, like, I just, like, so relate to, and it was, like, that was one of the reasons that, like, got me so connected to One Piece. And before that, there was a different character who does other stuff. But anyways, that series basically just summarizes, like, all sorts of human behavior. So then there's no more confusion of, like, why did a person do this? Why did that person hurt me in that way? Just watch One Piece. I'm just kidding. Like, obviously that alone isn't just gonna make everything make sense, but it can provide insight if you resonate with it, if you vibe with One Piece, if you can get into it. It's not the only thing that talks about love and understanding. Like Steven Universe is cool. I do think TV and books and manga and stuff like that in certain settings can actually be really helpful. And don't worry, believe me, I've seen the harm it can do watching toxic TV or just watching TV, even if it's really good and you're just doing that, binge watching a series, and you're not eating, you're not doing anything, Yeah, it can be pretty harmful in some ways like that too, but it can also be helpful. So, one of my other advice is perhaps check out One Piece. You can read the manga online, you can buy books. Volumes are about like $8 each. There are a ton of volumes, so just buy one, and if you enjoyed it, maybe buy another, and then keep going, and then you catch up, and then it's awesome and it's great. Yeah, I think. Hold on, let me grab my volumes. Yeah. Oops. Okay, I'm back. So if you get to volume 9, definitely enough things will be in place where you can see how it's just going to keep growing and growing on you. Yeah, I just found that one. Volume 9, it's a good one. You know what? I'm going to just share with you guys. No, it won't make sense because you didn't get there. Because there's 9 volumes. Yeah, but for those of you who don't want spoilers, go ahead and just click away from the video. That's the end. But if you guys aren't ever going to get into the series, I'll just kind of get into one of the person's stories. So there's this character. If you guys don't want spoilers, you should be away from here right now. But there's this character named Nami. She's this person with this orange hair. Basically, she's one of the main characters. She joins this crew. The series is about pirates. So she joins this small little pirate crew. Everyone in the pirate crew is just 5 people right now at this point. And she basically, when they're all busy with something, they leave the ship. She steals their ship, takes everything, and is like, yeah, I'm quitting the crew. Thanks for the free ship. Bye. And they're all like, wow. So they follow her because they're like, that doesn't make sense. Some people trust her, some people don't. Pretty much no one does. But the main character is like, nah, she's cool. I don't know why she did that, but let's go pick her up. Let's go get our ship back and continue the adventure. So eventually they follow her to this village, and eventually the story finally goes into her backstory when she's a little kid. And it just kind of gets into that, where it shows like she grows up with this person. It's like, oh, that's her mom. And it just kind of goes, yeah, it gets pretty intense. She got smacked in the face. Because, so basically you find out like she and her sister are both adopted, and her and her sister are separately adopted. So everyone in this trio of family, none of them are technically blood related. So she starts getting in a fight, and she says, we're not even real sisters. We're not related by blood. And that kind of like irritates her mom. And so her mom hella reacted really badly. And not a good idea, like in terms of parenthood and stuff. But she's just like, so what if we're not related, and pretty extreme. And then Nami runs off, and the reason why they're all fighting is because they're all poor. And then during that time, like, pretty much Nami listens to the backstory of like why that happened, and she learns about how she got found by her and all this stuff. Pretty much she's like healing and recovering. It's like, oh, but at the same time she ran off, her other like little sister went and found her, and the mom is chilling at their house. During that time, their village gets under attack by these people. They're like fishermen people. Anyways, the whole village gets enslaved, and during that time, like, the fishermen people were like, everyone here has to pay like 50,000 pennies a month. They kind of go by a penny system. It's kind of weird, the currency, but it's like they all have to pay 100,000 per for adult, 50,000 per child. And yeah, the good news is that the mom person, they live out in the woods, so they don't know the house exists. But because she got in a fight with her daughter, Nami, earlier, she's like, I should cook food and like, welcome her home and apologize. I was a child earlier. And so she's cooking at this time now because they got in a fight with the family, And because they were cooking, one of the fishermen people were like, hey, there's smoke in the woods. And so it's because Nami reacted, and then her mom reacted, and then they ran off and then started cooking, that they were spotted. And so that creates this ripple effect where this fisherman people can identify her place. They go there. They basically beat the shit out of the mom. Yeah. So that sucks. And during this time, so the kids are now in hiding, and so the fishermen people don't know that these kids exist, the two kids. And so the fishermen people show up to her and they're like, you have to pay 100,000 for your life and 50,000 for if you have any kids. And everyone's like, they all know that she has exactly about $100,000 saved up right now, or pennies. And so everyone's like, thank God, Nami and the sister Nojiko are in hiding. We can hide the kids, have them leave the island, and the adult lady, she can pay 100,000 for herself and just pretend she doesn't have kids. But so when she learns that she has that amount, she's like, yeah. She's like, cool, I have 100,000, that's awesome. And then like the fisherman guy's like, great, we're on our way. And she's like, oh, what do you mean? That's actually for my 2 daughters. And everyone's like, what? Why would you say that? And she's like, I can't deny that they're my children, even if I have the ability to. And so that sucks, because then they come running out and they're like, wait, no. And then the fisherman guy's like, all right, well, if you can't pay for your life, he's just like, all right, peace out, I'm gonna kill you. And then they go through this whole thing. And this continues on where basically you learn and discover that the whole reason why the main character stole their ship in the first place is because she's actually been a slave this whole time, but nobody knew that for 9 volumes. So it's pretty cool, and it just kind of shows how she overcomes that and chooses to trust her friends afterwards and trust that she deserves a much better life than this. And she did all this stuff by herself for like 10 years as a slave, like trying to basically buy her village back and stuff like that, and like lost her mom, and like, she could blame herself for her mom's death. She could do all this stuff, but she doesn't. She like tries to put on a smile and tries to like continue her life and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's One Piece, guys. It's pretty lit. And that's just like one random character, and they just like do this, and it just gets more and more in depth and just like very inspiring for like, what? Never give up. Never give up no matter your circumstance. So I believe anything is possible. I believe, hopefully, person who sent me email, thank you very much for the suggestion. I hope this was helpful for you. And maybe you'll consider One Piece. But yeah, that's this video. This is a general talk / reading video on self-esteem. Yeah, I'm gonna be sort of resting a bit today because if you guys can see, it's a snow day. I don't know if you saw, but there's snow out there. So I'm just gonna be at home all day, and I will be resting and bit by bit catching up on your guys' emails. And I'm almost completely caught up with personal readings. I have 2 more to do. A few more to do. Yeah. But yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful in some sort of way for any of you out there listening. And then, of course, particularly the person who reached out for this subject. Yeah, I'm sending so much love and light. I'm wishing you all the best on your journey. It's tough, but you got this. I'm going to leave at 4:44. Yeah, peace out.